Stop scrolling, take a breath. This message wasn't waiting for you. You called it into existence the very moment your soul decided it was time to break free. What if I told you that everything you believe about the past is a profound illusion, that it isn't something that happened to you and is now behind you, but rather it is a parallel reality that exists right now, a frequency your consciousness keeps tuning into again and again. In this transmission, we are going to dismantle that illusion. We are going to explore the quantum nature of time and memory. And by the end, you will not just understand, you will possess the knowledge of how to consciously unplug from the timelines that no longer serve you. Have you ever felt trapped in a loop, reliving the same emotions, attracting the same patterns, as if yesterday is destined to become your tomorrow? Let me know in the comments. Before we proceed, you must reimagine the very fabric of existence. Do not think of the universe as an empty void filled with objects. Instead, see it as the quantum field, a vibrant, infinite ocean of pure, unmanifested potential. Everything that ever was, is, or could be exists within this field as a wave of probability. Your past, your desired future, a future where you fail, a future where you ascend, they are all shimmering potentials within this cosmic soup. Now, what is the mechanism that turns these invisible waves of potential into the hard, tangible reality you experience? It is your consciousness, but observation is not a passive act of seeing. In the quantum world, to observe is to choose. Your focused attention, charged with your emotional energy, is the force that reaches into this field of infinite possibilities and collapses one single probability wave into a particle, into an experience. You are not a camera recording reality. You are the projector, and your consciousness is the light that makes the film real. Let's begin by shattering the most fundamental prison of the human mind, the myth of linear time. You have been taught to see your life as a straight line, a fixed past that you cannot change, a fleeting present, and an unknown future you are moving towards. This is a three-dimensional limitation, a perceptual filter that keeps you bound to cause and effect. The quantum truth is far more liberating and profound. All time exists simultaneously. Every potential moment, every version of your past and every version of your future is happening right now in the infinite expanse of the quantum field. Think of it not as a line, but as an infinite library of DVDs. Each disc is a complete timeline, a whole reality from its beginning to its end. The past you remember is simply one disc. The future you desire is another. You are not forced to watch the old movie over and over again. Your consciousness is the player, and your focus is the remote control that selects which disc to play in the now moment. The feeling of being trapped by your past is simply the experience of your consciousness being stuck on repeat, replaying the same disc out of habit. So, how exactly does your consciousness get stuck on this repeat function, endlessly replaying the past? It happens through the energetic signature of memory. A memory is not a harmless, dusty file in the cabinet of your brain. Every memory is a living, breathing energy pattern. It is a specific configuration of information and, more importantly, emotion. When you recall a past trauma, a heartbreak, or a failure, you are not just thinking about it, you are literally regenerating its energetic frequency within your being. Your brain and body do not know the difference between a real experience and a vividly remembered one. The same neurochemicals flood your system, your heart rate changes, your cells receive the same signal of stress, sadness, or fear. You are, in a very real, biological and energetic sense, reliving the past in the present moment. This act of remembering is an act of quantum recreation. You are instructing the field with the powerful language of emotion that this is the reality you are tuned to, this is the vibration you inhabit, and the field, which only knows how to match your signal, obediently begins to arrange circumstances that reflect that old, familiar energy. This brings us to the core mechanism of self-sabotage and recurring patterns, the reactivation loop. Imagine you have a memory of betrayal. When you think about this memory, your body produces the feelings of betrayal, the anger, the hurt, the distrust. This emotional state is a powerful energetic broadcast. It's a signal you are sending out into the quantum field. The field, being a mirror, responds by bringing you more experiences that match the frequency of betrayal. You might attract a dishonest business partner, or a friend might let you down. This new experience then validates your original belief. People can't be trusted. This validation strengthens the memory, making you think about it even more, and so the loop continues. You recall the past, which creates the emotion, which attracts the matching experience, which reinforces the memory. This is not bad luck, this is quantum physics. You have created a self-sustaining energetic circuit between your inner world and your outer reality. The past isn't haunting you, you are keeping it alive, feeding it your precious life force energy with every thought and every feeling. Breaking free requires cutting the power to this circuit. Now let us visualize the solution. If the quantum field contains all possibilities, then it must contain infinite parallel timelines. Picture them as lanes on an infinite superhighway. The lane you are currently in is your present reality, paved by the choices and focuses of your past. The lane next to you might be almost identical, but in it you chose to say yes to that opportunity you declined. A few lanes over is a reality where you pursued your passion for art. Further down, there's a timeline where you are a completely different person, having made a pivotal decision 10 years ago. All of these timelines are real, valid, and exist as potentials right now. The past you keep reliving, that is just one of those lanes. It is not the only lane, it's just the one you keep looking at in your rearview mirror, so you keep swerving back into it out of habit. The key to freedom is to understand that you can change lanes. You don't have to erase the past lane, you just have to stop giving it your attention and gently, deliberately steer your focus, your consciousness, into the lane of the future you wish to experience. The act of changing timelines is an act of changing your dominant focus and vibrational frequency. This is where the observer effect becomes your ultimate superpower. As we established, observation is not passive. Your focused awareness is the most powerful creative force in the universe. Whatever you place your sustained attention upon, you energize. You draw it from the realm of potential into your experiential reality. This works for things you want, and it works for things you don't want. The universe doesn't judge, it only responds to the focus of your energy. When you constantly dwell on a past mistake, you are using your divine creative power to keep that timeline active. You are literally holding it in place with your attention. The moment you withdraw your attention, you begin to unplug. That past timeline doesn't vanish from existence, but it loses its power over you. It returns to a dormant state, a mere potential in the field, because you are no longer supplying the energy of your consciousness to sustain it as your reality. Think of your attention as water. Are you using it to water the weeds of your past or the seeds of your future? The choice, in every single moment, is yours. This is the true meaning of being a conscious creator. So, how do we begin the practical process of unplugging? What is the first step to shifting timelines? The first step is not to fight, resist, or deny the past. What you resist persists. Resistance is a form of intense focus. It's like trying to not think of a pink elephant. Instead, the first step is radical acceptance and energetic neutrality. You must learn to look at your past not as a life sentence, but as a collection of data points. It was a timeline you experienced. It was a set of frequencies you explored. It taught you things, but it is not who you are. Who you are is the pure consciousness that had those experiences. To achieve neutrality, you can practice an observation meditation. See the memory play out on a mental screen as if it's a movie, but this time you are in the audience. You are not the actor. Do not engage with the emotions. Simply watch. Acknowledge what happened with a simple, "I see that." That was an experience I had. This act of detached observation begins to sever the emotional cords that tie you to that timeline. You are taking your power back from the memory. Once you have achieved a state of neutrality, the next powerful step is what I call quantum forgiveness. This is not the conventional forgiveness you may have been taught, which is often about pardoning someone for a wrongdoing. Quantum forgiveness is an energetic action. It is a declaration to the universe that you are officially revoking an old energetic contract. When someone hurts you or you hurt someone, an energetic cord is formed, tethering you both to that specific event, to that timeline. Holding on to resentment or guilt is like holding on to your end of that cord, keeping you both anchored in that past reality. To forgive is to consciously and deliberately cut that cord. You can do this through a simple ritual. Close your eyes, visualize the person or situation, and say aloud, "I release you, I release myself. I revoke the energetic contract that binds us to this timeline. I am free and you are free. It is done." You are not saying what they did was okay. You are saying you are no longer willing to use your life force to power that painful reality. It is the ultimate act of self-love and vibrational sovereignty. With the old timeline's power neutralized through acceptance and forgiveness, it is now time for the most exciting part, scripting your new reality. You cannot leave a vacuum. If you simply stop focusing on the past, your habitual thoughts will likely drift back to it. You must give your consciousness a new, compelling place to focus. This is where you move from being an editor of the past to being an author of the future. This is not mere daydreaming. This is a highly focused, creative process. Take time each day to vividly imagine the life you want to live, but do not just see it. You must feel it. What does it feel like in your body to be living in abundance? What emotions flow through you as you experience that loving relationship? How does your posture change when you are living in a state of perfect health? The quantum field responds primarily to the language of feeling. By generating the emotions of your desired reality now, before it has physically manifested, you are broadcasting the precise energetic signature of that new timeline. You are telling the universe, "This is who I am now. This is the frequency I choose." You are literally pre-living your future. You have now neutralized the old and begun scripting the new. The final and most crucial stage is anchoring yourself in this new frequency. Shifting timelines is not a one-time event. It is a moment-to-moment practice of conscious choice. Your mind, conditioned by years of habit, will try to pull you back to the familiar old patterns. This is where your awareness becomes your guardian. When you catch yourself replaying an old memory or feeling an old negative emotion, do not judge yourself. Simply notice it and gently redirect your focus. Say to yourself, "That is the old timeline. I am no longer available for that frequency." Then immediately pivot your attention to something that makes you feel good. Think about your desired future. Practice gratitude for something in your present moment. Gratitude is one of the highest frequencies you can embody, and it is a powerful anchor for your new reality. The more you consciously choose the thoughts and feelings of your desired timeline, the more you strengthen your connection to it. Over time, this new state will become your default. You are literally rewiring your brain and reconditioning your body to live in a new reality. Let's talk about the role of your physical body in this process. Your body is not just a vehicle, it is a subconscious mind. For years, it has been conditioned to produce the chemical cocktails of your past emotions, the cortisol of stress, the adrenaline of fear, the chemistry of sadness. It can become addicted to these states. This is why when you first decide to change, you might feel an intense internal resistance. Your body, missing its familiar chemical fix, will send signals to your brain to generate thoughts that will create those emotions. It will whisper, "Remember when this terrible thing happened?" or "You should be worried about that." This is the body trying to pull you back into the old timeline to get its chemical payoff. Recognizing this is a game changer. When you feel that pull, you can smile and say, "Ah, that's just my body craving its old patterns. I am the consciousness in charge here." Then you can consciously choose to do something different. Go for a walk, play uplifting music, dance, do breath work. You must retrain your body, teaching it what the emotions of joy, peace, and abundance feel like. You must make this new state its new familiar. A powerful tool for unplugging is to consciously rewrite your past. This is not about delusion or denying what happened. It is about changing the story and the meaning you assign to it. Your memory is not a perfect recording. It is a creative reconstruction that you edit every time you access it. So why not edit it consciously? Take a painful memory and find the gift in it. What did it teach you? How did it make you stronger? How did it redirect you to something better? Find the seed of empowerment within the experience of victimhood. For example, a story of "I was abandoned" can be reframed as "that experience taught me radical self-reliance and showed me my own strength." As you change the story, you change the emotional charge. As the emotional charge changes, the memory loses its power to pull you back into that old vibrational timeline. You are not changing the facts of what happened. You are changing the energetic reality of it within your being. You are taking back the power of the narrator of your own life story, and that is a profound act of timeline shifting. As you begin this process, the universe will start giving you feedback in the form of synchronicity. Synchronicities are the quantum field's way of winking at you, letting you know that it has received your new signal and is rearranging itself to match your new frequency. You might start seeing repeating numbers. You might overhear a conversation that gives you the exact answer you were looking for. The perfect person might call you at the perfect time. These are not coincidences. They are markers on the path, confirming that you are successfully shifting lanes. When these happen, acknowledge them. Say thank you to the universe. See them as evidence that your inner work is creating outer change. This creates a positive feedback loop. The more you notice and appreciate synchronicity, the more the universe will provide it. It is a dialogue between you and the field. You send out your signal of intention, and the field responds with clues and confirmations, guiding you effortlessly toward the full manifestation of your new, chosen timeline. Pay attention to these signs. They are your new reality beginning to bleed through into your perception. What about the other people in your life, the ones who were part of your past timeline? As you change your frequency, a fascinating thing happens. This is the law of vibrational resonance. Everything in your reality must match your dominant vibration. This means that the people around you have two choices. They can either shift their energy to meet you at your new, higher frequency, or they will naturally and often effortlessly drift out of your life. You may find that old friends with whom you only shared complaints and gossip suddenly have less in common with you. Conversely, you will start attracting new people who resonate with the new you, people who are optimistic, supportive, and aligned with your future vision. Do not be afraid of this process. It is a natural clearing of the way. You are not abandoning anyone. You are simply honoring your own evolution. Releasing people from the past with love is a necessary step to making space for the relationships that belong in the timeline you are now creating for yourself. Let's deepen our understanding of emotions. Emotions are the engine of creation. A thought alone is just a blueprint. An emotion is the fuel that brings the blueprint to life. Many spiritual teachings talk about letting go of negative emotions, but this can be misinterpreted as suppression. You cannot unplug from a past timeline by pretending you don't feel the pain associated with it. The key is to allow yourself to feel the emotion fully, but without the story attached to it. If sadness arises, allow the pure sensation of sadness to move through your body without replaying the memory that caused it. Feel it as pure energy. Breathe into it. Give it space. When you do this, the energy can complete its cycle and release. It is the story, the mental narrative of "this happened to me, and it was terrible," that keeps the emotion trapped and the timeline active. By separating the sensation from the story, you process the old energy once and for all. This practice allows you to cleanse your energetic field, making you a clearer vessel for the new reality you are calling in. Feel it to heal it, then let it go. One of the biggest traps that keeps people tethered to past timelines is the identity they have built around their suffering. For many, their story of hardship, victimhood, or struggle has become the very foundation of who they believe they are. I am a survivor of trauma. I am someone who has always struggled with money. I am a person who is unlucky in love. While these statements may describe past experiences, they are not your true identity. Your true identity is limitless, pure consciousness. To unplug from the past, you must be willing to let go of the identity you have constructed from it. You must be willing to die to your old self, to be reborn into your new reality. This can be terrifying because it feels like a loss of self. But you are not losing yourself. You are losing your limitations. Ask yourself, who would I be without my story? Who would I be if I were a blank slate, free to create myself anew in this very moment? Meditating on this question can dissolve the rigid structures of the old identity and open you up to the infinite possibilities of who you can become. Now let's consider the concept of déjà vu. Many people experience this strange feeling of having lived a moment before. From a quantum perspective, déjà vu can be seen as a momentary glimpse into another parallel timeline. It could be a moment where the timeline you are currently on intersects or runs very close to another potential timeline you could have chosen. It is your consciousness briefly perceiving two tracks at once. Rather than dismissing it as a brain glitch, you can use it as a powerful reminder of the true nature of reality. When you experience déjà vu, pause and recognize it as proof that your reality is not as fixed and linear as it seems. It is evidence that alternate paths exist. It can serve as an invitation to ask yourself, am I on the timeline that is most aligned with my highest joy and purpose? Am I consciously choosing my reality, or am I running on autopilot? Use these moments as quantum checkpoints to ensure you are actively steering your consciousness toward the destination you truly desire, not just drifting down a path of least resistance. The language you use, both internally and externally, is a powerful tool for either anchoring the past or scripting the future. Your words are incantations. They are commands given to your subconscious mind and to the quantum field. Pay close attention to your vocabulary. Do you constantly talk about what went wrong? Do you define your present through the lens of your past hurts? Statements like, "I always mess things up," or "good things never happen to me," are powerful spells that lock you into those very timelines. To unplug, you must begin to speak the language of your desired reality. Start speaking as if it is already true. Instead of, "I hope I can be wealthy," say, "I am in the process of creating abundant wealth." Instead of, "I'm trying to heal," say, "I am healing. I am whole." This is not about being dishonest. It is about being a visionary. You are using your words to paint a picture of the reality you are choosing to inhabit. Your words are the brushstrokes, and your life is the canvas. Speak your new world into being. A crucial aspect of this journey is cultivating patience and trusting the divine timing of the universe. You may have spent decades energizing a particular past timeline. Unplugging from it and fully anchoring in a new one is a process, not an overnight switch. There is an energetic momentum to your old reality, and it may take some time for the physical world to catch up to your new inner state. This is what many call the lag time in manifestation. During this period, it is essential to hold the faith. Do not look for external evidence to validate your new choice. Your internal state, your feeling, is the only evidence you need. If you start to doubt because you don't see immediate changes, you are reverting to the old frequency. Trust that the seeds you have planted in the quantum field are germinating. Continue to nurture them with your focus, your positive emotions, and your aligned actions. The sunrise always comes after the darkest hour. Your new reality is dawning even if you cannot yet see its light over the horizon. Trust the process. As you become more adept at this, you'll notice your perception of reality itself beginning to change. The world will start to feel more fluid, more malleable. You will see how your thoughts and feelings directly and often quickly influence your experiences. The wall between your inner and outer worlds will become thinner. This is a sign that you are moving from a three-dimensional consciousness of cause and effect to a five-dimensional consciousness of creation from the now moment. In this state, you realize that the external world is not a solid, separate out there. It is a reflection, a mirror of your internal state of being. You stop trying to change the world by manipulating external conditions. Instead, you focus entirely on mastering your own frequency, knowing that as you change your inner state, the reflection in the mirror must change accordingly. This is the ultimate freedom. This is sovereignty. You are no longer a character in a movie written by your past. You are the director, producer, and star of a masterpiece you are creating in every moment. Finally, the practice of living in the present moment is your master key. The past timeline only has power over you when your mind is there. The future timeline can only be created when your energy is here, now. The present moment is your point of power. It is the only place where you can make a new choice. When you are fully present, feeling the air on your skin, tasting your food, truly listening to another person, you are withdrawing your energy from all other timelines. You are fully inhabiting the 0-point field of pure potential. From this space of presence, you can consciously choose which thought to think next, which emotion to cultivate, which action to take. Most people live their lives with their consciousness scattered. Part of it in past regrets, part of it in future anxieties. To unplug is to call all of your energy back to this single, powerful moment. Practices like meditation, mindfulness, and simply paying attention to your senses are not just for relaxation. They are advanced quantum techniques for reclaiming your creative power and choosing your reality, one present moment at a time. The now is where all timelines converge, and it is from the now that you choose which one to follow. So we arrive at the ultimate revelation. You are not a victim of your past. For so long you may have believed you were, but in truth, you have been its loyal gatekeeper. Your focus, your emotions, your identity. These were the keys you used to keep locking yourself inside that old reality day after day. But the beautiful truth is this: you also hold the key to lock that gate from the outside forever and walk into the dawn of a new timeline. You are not in reality. You are the reality that is observing itself through your eyes. You unplug by withdrawing your energy. You create by placing that energy consciously. It is that simple and that profound. Thank you for receiving this transmission. If it resonated, please subscribe to continue this journey with us, and like this video to anchor this truth into your being. To fully declare your sovereignty, write this activation phrase in the comments below: I am unplugged from the past. And now I leave you with a question to contemplate. What is the one pattern, the one story from your past that you are choosing to release starting right now?